friends, today what I'd like to do is to give you a quick review of my new camera, the Sony ZV-e10. This is the bigger brother of the Sony ZV-1, except it does have interchangeable lenses. So detailed technical review. There's lots of very lengthy videos out on YouTube about how to set up all the details and all the controls for the camera, so I encourage you to really look at those, to go through them and set up the camera the way you would like in order to capture the photos and videos that you would like. Just to note, the camera only comes with one battery in it, so highly encourage you to get additional batteries. I did that through Amazon. I got 2 additional batteries with the charger from Wasabi, and I've used some of the Wasabi products before, been very happy with them. And then in addition, I also got the Sony grip with the camera that looks like this. You'll notice that the grip has controls on it where you can actually start and stop recording and also take pictures. You can adjust the zoom of the camera, and there's also a custom C1 button, which also emulates the C1 function that's on the button on the top. So bought all of these products from Amazon and been very happy with the speed of delivery with that. Also, the camera does not come with a memory card, so you'll need to get one of those. I tend to use the SanDisk Extreme cards. I use the 128 megabyte cards, and I also use the card in a carrier like this. Basically, the card slips into the bottom of it, and I like to use these micro SD cards because I can also use those cards in my GoPro. So that gives me a little bit more capability to be able to carry things around. The other thing that I got that has been pretty handy is this little card case by a company called Hansky, and inside the case you'll see where it has positions for both micro SD and SD cards. I usually keep one side loaded up with blank cards that are ready to go, and then the other side I use for cards that have been used but I haven't copied them yet. And maybe just another final note is that once I move everything onto my hard drives before editing, I always, as a matter of course, reformat the memory card every time so that it has a nice fresh format on it, and I can make sure that that's compatible with the device that I'm using. So just a little bit about some of my workflow. So again, what I would like to do today is just to give you just a couple of other pros and cons of the camera. So one thing that's very nice about the camera is that it has on the side here, it's got a little door where it actually has in the top, it has a microphone jack. So that's very nice, very convenient if you need to use an external microphone. So I'd like to give you my top pros and cons of this camera since I've been using it. To start with some of the negative things first, I think a couple of these things have been reported, but just so that you should be aware. The lens on the camera is a 15 to 50 millimeter optically stabilized lens, and what I find is that the 15 millimeter is not quite wide enough. Especially if you're using the camera handheld, where you're actually trying to take some self video you can't quite get wide enough with the 15mm lens to make that effective. You can't get the camera far enough away. A little bit of a disappointment. And then the second negative is that if you use the full stabilization that the camera is capable of, it additionally applies a magnification or a crop factor on top of it, which makes the whole self-video problem even worse. So, so that's been a little disappointing with this lens, specifically if you're using it for vlogging and self-recording. I think another negative is that the grip, which in general I like the grip, but when you're using the grip on the table, what you see is that the camera is relatively short. So when you're using the camera on the table, it creates a pretty unusual angle coming up that's not quite so pleasing to be used for taking videos. So in that case, you need to actually find some way to raise the camera up to get it to an appropriate angle. So like right now, I'm currently using my GoPro Hero 9 to record this video, and I have a GoPro adjustable tripod grip that allows you to adjust the height of the tripod up and down to be able to get a good, pleasing angle. I think the other negative that I would like to mention is that if you're wearing sunglasses, basically the screen on the back of the camera is completely unusable. You will not be able to see the screen, so you'll have to take your sunglasses off. The camera does not have a viewfinder, and that's a little bit of annoying. Obviously not a deal breaker, but those are the couple of cons that I just wanted to relay to you. And then on the positive side, I really like the form factor, the size and the weight of the camera. A lot of people actually can hold it by the lens while they're taking self-video, and they don't use the grip, so that makes it even lighter. But I really like the form factor. I like the accessibility of the buttons, especially using the grip, using the buttons that are on here to be able to capture photos and video. So I think I really like the form factor of it. The next thing is the image quality of both the photos and the videos is very good. I've been very happy with the product that's been coming out of it. Another positive is the onboard audio quality. The camera does come with a little slide-on dead cat here to reduce wind noise. I find that works very effectively, and the audio quality of just the pure onboard audio is very good. And then of course you have the ability to add an external microphone if you would like to do that. Finally, the other thing I would like to mention is the flip screen on the camera, which enables you to really get a good unusual angle if that's what you want to do. So that's very flexible to be able to use that flip screen to be able to frame your subjects. So those are a couple of the positives that I found, a couple of the negatives. Would I buy the camera again? Absolutely, yes, I would. However, I probably would not get the 16 to 50 kit lens. I would probably go with a 10 or 11 millimeter, and I would probably get a fixed focal length as opposed to a zoom lens. I've found over the past week and a half I really haven't used a zoom on the camera at all. So although it has the capability to adjust slightly within those ranges, I probably would not do that. I think my next lens purchase will probably be a 10 or 11 millimeter with optical stabilization built into it. So that's my short review of the Sony ZV-e10. Overall, like it. It works very well, very flexible, and also works in my editing workflow. So would love to hear if you have any comments or feedback or your experience using the camera, what you like, what you don't like. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.